me.
Sure.
Hey, Judge Napolitano,
Hello,
everybody.
Jamie. How are you?
I know to you I may look old. Hope this statement ain't too bold, but here comes the judge.
At Judge Nap, JudgeNap.com. Saw you on TV this morning. How you doing, friend?
I'm well, my dear buddy. How are you?
I'm doing great. I mean, so much to talk about, particularly when we notice this story. That are you up to speed on these guys, the congressional IT staffers who are now the subject of this criminal investigation into?
No, I'm not. I am up to speed on the allegations that Obama spied on Trump and the status of that investigation, but not the one you asked about.
Okay, well, this one just involves these IT staffers, and they're looking into their fact that they accessed members' correspondence, emails, and confidential files. But I will ask you, though, about this wiretapping thing, which I guess has become kind of a mess in terms of how the Trump administration, or at least the people in it, are explaining it. So what's up? Where are you on this?
Well, the president accused former President Obama of, quote, wiretapping, closed quote, him during the campaign and during the transition period. And as a result of that accusation, for which no evidence has been publicly presented, 3 investigations have been launched. One by the FBI, one by the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, and the other by the House Intelligence Committee. So there probably are 100 people who are either chasing a phantom, meaning that this never happened and they're not going to find any evidence because it never exists, it doesn't exist, or it was done by not the CIA, not the NSA, not the FBI, and not the DOJ, but by something called the GCHQ. All right. What the heck is the GCHQ? Well, that stands for General Communication Headquarters, which is the name of the British CIA. So just bear with me for a second. The concept of wiretapping is ancient. It conjures up somebody in a fake mustache and a wig in the basement of an apartment building putting a wire into a telephone box and actually listening to a phone call elsewhere in the building. And that was the practice from about 1930, when telephones began to be prevalent, to about 1985, when the telecoms moved into computers. So today, everything is done by computer, meaning every phone call passes through the mainframe computer of the telecom service provider. So if you use, for example, Verizon, then your phone call passes digitally, electronically, through a Verizon computer. Since 2005, the NSA has had full, unfettered, 24/7, 365 access to the mainframe computers of every telecom and computer service provider in the United States. Translation, it has the digital version of every phone call and the digital version, not transcript, the digital version of every keystroke on every laptop or mobile device in the U.S. Now let's go to the statute. The FISA statute says the President of the United States can order the electronic surveillance, and this statute was written in 1978, of any person in the United States without suspicion, probable cause, or a warrant. Would Barack Obama do that? Could Barack Obama have done that to Donald Trump? Well, somewhere there exists the digital version of every phone call Donald Trump has ever made, just like every phone call Jamie Allman or Andrew Napolitano or the people listening to us now have ever made. The American people need to know this. This data exists in a government computer, and the computers are owned and operated by the NSA, and the NSA is in the military, and the military answers to the president. So could President Obama have said to the NSA, give me a transcript of every phone call that Trump has ever had? The answer, yes. Would he have done so? Well, if he did, his fingerprints would be on it. That is, there'd be a record of the order he made to the NSA. So it is probable, according to intelligence community sources, that this was done for Obama by the GCHQ, the British CIA, because the NSA has given their colleagues, the Brits, full 24/7, 365 access to that database.
Wow.
Now, this is terrifying because this means not only is the American government spying on everybody in the United States, but it has made available to foreign spies the same data. And there is no outrage. We are so terrified of another 9/11. We have right under our noses permitted the government to capture every cell phone call, every landline call, and every keystroke on every computer unlawfully, unconstitutionally, and permanently. There is no outrage.
Is this a new development? Meaning, did President Obama, was he the first one to have allowed?
Oh, no. This started under President Bush. This was part of the post-9/11 mania of gathering surveillance on everybody. And initially, in fairness to the government, they began to gather surveillance on just people as to whom there was suspicion or even probable cause. Suspicion is a low level of evidence. We think somebody might be doing something. Probable cause is a higher level of evidence. We have some evidence which could lead a neutral observer to believe that this person is engaged in this terrorist activity. But eventually the NSA got tired of focusing on bad people, and it persuaded, and again, when the NSA appears in court, it's a secret court, and there's no opposition. It's just the NSA's lawyers, which is the Justice Department. So Justice Department lawyers in a secret court persuade this court to expand spying authorities because the NSA persuades the lawyers and the court that it is easier to spy on everybody rather than just the bad guys.
So
that's where we are today. But here's the irony. Who does the NSA work for today? In February 2017, Donald Trump. They give him a briefing every day as to what they've learned from their surveillance in the previous 24 hours. So I suspect that one of them, at the end of one of those briefings, say, by the way, Mr. President, we weren't doing this, but some entity was giving Obama briefings on you back in September, October, November, and December of 2016.
Well, so was President Trump then in the end right?
I believe he was.
It wasn't
the
just
DOJ
based.
is not going to find any evidence of this because it doesn't exist in American records. It exists in the records of the GCHQ.
So
you want to make this even more tantalizing? The young, up-and-coming star that was the director of the GCHQ abruptly resigned 2 days after Trump was inaugurated.
Wow. Unbelievable. You've got
there's a lot more here than meets the eye. Are we going to find out what really happened? Probably not. These congressional committees, just like the Benghazi committee, are more determined to conceal rather than reveal, because the last thing they want to reveal is the nature and extent of the government's involvement in our personal lives and awareness of what we do. Now, a lot of people listening to me will say, I have nothing to fear. I'm not afraid of the government. I'm an open book. The government can look at my records. They can hear my confession to my priest. They can hear what I whisper to my significant other or spouse in the bedroom. Baloney. That is not America. The Constitution makes the individual prime and not the government. The government is to serve the individual. The individual is not to serve the state.
Wow.
The government has no right to know everything that we say and everything that we communicate without a warrant from a judge based on probable cause. That's not me. That's James Madison and Thomas Jefferson.
Amazing. As always, I can listen to you all day at Judge Knapp, judgeknapp.com. Thank you, sir. God bless.